The first time Samuel saw him, he was in the dairy aisle of the supermarket. A man, average height, clad in a faded gray suit, with a neatly trimmed mustache and a face as blank as a white wall. He was staring straight ahead, his eyes emotionless, but Samuel felt a shiver course down his spine. He felt observed, scrutinized. It happened again. The library, a man with a mustache, identical to the first, browsing the shelves, his gaze flitting towards Samuel every now and then. Then, the bank, a man with a mustache, same suit, same vacant eyes, waiting patiently in line. It was becoming an unsettling pattern. A morbid fascination gripped him, a sense of unease that twisted in his gut. The man, he was sure, was following him. The feeling intensified when he began seeing him in the news, a blur in the background of a traffic report, a fleeting figure in a crowd shot during the mayor's speech. He tried to dismiss it as his imagination, a trick his mind was playing on him, but the fear gnawed at his sanity. One day, Samuel decided to confront him. He saw the same man, sitting on a park bench across the street. He walked towards him, adrenaline pulsing through his veins, heart thumping like a drum. "Who are you? What do you want?" he demanded, his voice shaking. The man looked up, his eyes still lifeless, and spoke in a voice that was flat and emotionless. "You are not meant to see me." He then stood up, disappeared into the crowd with an uncanny swiftness, leaving Samuel bewildered, alone, with the chilling sentence ringing in his ears. That night, Samuel sat in his apartment, enveloped in a cloak of unease and paranoia. He tried to tell his wife, but her laughter, tinged with concern, only solidified his feeling of isolation. He began to doubt his sanity. Days blurred into weeks. The man, the mustache, the vacant stare became a constant presence in his life, a ghost in the machine of his reality. He was losing himself, consumed by fear, with his grip on sanity slipping through his fingers. One night, he woke up with a jolt. He found himself in a dark room, the air thick with an overwhelming sense of dread. He felt a cold, bony hand gently stroke his cheek, sending shivers down his spine. He turned his head, and there, in the dim light, was the man. His face was twisted into a horrifying grin, his eyes burning with a malevolent light. "You are not meant to see me," the man whispered, his voice a chilling rasp. "But now you have. Now, you're mine." The room started to spin, the walls closing in on him, his heart pounding in his chest. He screamed, but his voice was drowned out by a deafening roar. He closed his eyes, bracing himself for the inevitable. Then he felt nothing. He opened his eyes, the room had vanished. He was standing in his bedroom, bathed in the soft light of dawn. The fear was still gnawing at him, but something felt different. He looked at his reflection in the mirror. His eyes, they looked different. They were no longer his own. In the depths of his reflection, he saw a flicker of something strange, something cold and unfeeling. A faint, ghostly smile played on his lips, a smile that wasn't his own. He had become the man. The man with the mustache, the vacant stare, the chilling whisper. He had become the monster he had been so afraid of. He was now one of them, a part of the unseen world, the world where reality bends and sanity shatters. And now he was ready to play his part. He would be the observer, the stalker, the shadow that haunted the lives of those he chose. He smiled, a cold and calculating smile, and stepped out into the world, ready to become the nightmare he had always feared. The world was his stage, and he was ready to play his part. He had become the monster.